Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. After our adventures in... I just had my content schedule up and I was trying to remember what I was playing last week. Maybe I didn't. Here we go. That's right, we were playing Pandemic Fall of Rome the last week. We've got a brand new game debut as we're playing Sanctuary by Feuerland Spiele. This is very similar to Ark Nova, only we're using tiles this time instead of the mess of cards that we've got. So we've got our conservation projects out. Our goals are to have to have animals in, I believe that's Asia. Yeah, that's Asia. Reptiles, predators, birds, and primates. As for our 6 tiles that we're starting with, we've got the Sumatran tiger, which takes a level 5 animal's strength, so that's going to be quite difficult to play, to put it mildly. Then we've also got we've got those victory points, I believe. 7A have a fixed point value. Those are at the end of the game. So 8 victory points for that. And when we play that, we probably get something when we play that animal. Then we've got the Australian dingo, which is in Australia's, but it takes a mountain climate. Or it's a rock climate, actually. 1 victory point per primate, it looks like, at the end of the game. Strength of 2. Oh, and the Sumatran tiger gives us a conservation marker from the looks of it. Then we've got the Australian pelican with a strength of 4, and place 1 open area from the pile on your zoo. That takes a water climate, Australia, and a bird. Then we've got the white stork, which is a forest, Europe, and a bird. Level of strength of 3, and place an open area from the pile on your zoo. 1 point per open area pile, for open area space. Then we've got a zoo school at level 5 that has to go by the river. That's only looks like that has to go next to an open area. Then when we place it, we take a project from the display, which this is our display up here. Then we've got an inland taipan, a bird. That's relocate 1 tile in your zoo. 6 victory points, takes a mountain terrain, Australia, and reptile, as Dave's Tabletop Gaming now joins us here. I will admit my first impression of this game is I'm not sure we need another Ark Nova game, but we're going to give this a try anyway. I'm probably going to fumble with this quite a bit, but let's jump in and see what we can do. So the first thing that we do on our turn is, based on our project level, we take a tile from within range. That's based on our project level, which if I tip the camera down, you'll see the action cards are also a little bit different. We've got the project's action card, which always starts at level 1. Then the animals cards are actually broken into the different climates. So we would need to play one with a rock habitat or undefined, then forest or undefined, and animal and water or undefined. So the first thing we do is we can take a tile from range. Unfortunately, because our projects right now is at a range of 1, that only gives me access to the Sumatran tiger, which has actually got problems in a couple of ways, because we need to start adjacent to the entrance. But even if we place this down here, which we can't do right now, obviously, we can only place that next to an open space. Our water is up at level 4, but we don't have enough animal strength to be able to play that right now. So I think we're going to use the forest at level 3 to draw 2 tiles from the pile. So our first tile that we've got to look at is a Chinese water dragon. Strength of 2, goes by its water. It's an Asian animal and a reptile. Then we've got then that gives us one victory point per water tile, it looks like. And we've got to be careful of a hand size of 6. And our second tile is a koala with a strength of 3 on forest. Australia and herbivore is not anything we need to be worried about for this game. Discard up to 2 tiles and gain 1 conservation marker for each and 5 victory points. Also in the solo game, so we've also got possibilities of placing a forest, which we can't do, conservation objectives, which are these up here that we can't do right now, or upgrade 1 or multiple of the action cards, which we also can't do. Then during this replenish the display, we're going to flip a solo marker. I've got them in a bag that I'm going to draw from. Game can end in a few different ways. One of them is if this bag is empty. Normally you'd just have them face up. Alright, so this is also going to serve as a marker. So we are actually taking out tile, we're actually taking away marker 5, or the tile in space 5. Then we'll replenish the display, so that'll get rid of the zoo school. Then we slide everything down. And we replenish 2 tiles. So going in at level 5 first, we've got an alpine ibex. Rock climate, Europe, and herbivore needs a strength of 3. Also, we need to slide all of this down. And our other tile going out is the domestic rabbit, which is undefined climate petting zoo animal. And we score victory points at the end of the game based on the number of petting zoo animals we have. Needs a strength of 2. Whoops. As Barbara, first to join us here, is actually next to join us here. We're playing something very different tonight, as you can probably tell, Barbara. We're not doing baseball tonight, but we will be back to that tomorrow night. I'll talk more about that at the end of this video. Then we've got a project level 2, which now I think we will take the Australian dingo, and I'm mostly interested in the Australia part of that. And I'm going to I just use the forest to draw tiles, so I think we're going to go with the water terrain, even though that's at level 4 right now. It's not a killer rabbit higher ground gaming, it's just a regular domestic rabbit. This isn't Kung Lao in Mortal Kombat. So I will use that to play a Chinese water dragon, and I'll put that down over here adjacent to the entrance. Then we'll go pull another tile out of the bag. And we are swapping out tile number 2. So we'll replace the Australian pelican, slide everything down, and coming out at spot 5, we've got a pony, which is another petting zoo animal. And a dusky leaf monkey, forest, Asia, and primate. 2 victory points per forest animal that we've got. You were referencing Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I've actually never seen any of the Monty Python movies. My experience in the movie front is very limited, let's just say. Anyway, we've got the project. So now our projects is at level 3, which means we can take anything from level 3. So I'm going to grab the I'm going to grab the inland taipan. And then I'm going to use the rock habitat. And I'll play the inland taipan. I can still go adjacent to my entrance, so I'll put that down right there. When I place that, I can relocate one tile in my zoo, but I'm not going to do that because I don't really have enough to be worried about right now. So everything will slide down. And I didn't pick up any placement bonuses on either one of these, so we're all clear there. You think I'd like Monty Python? I'm not so sure about that. I've never been much for comedies, unless they're. Well, I shouldn't say I'm not much for comedy, but I tend to have a very dry sense of humor, and Monty Python, just from the little bit I've seen of it, usually when people are making Monty Python references, I usually end up rolling my eyes. Let's put it that way. I get the impression that Monty Python isn't really my humor style. And we're swapping out tile 5 again as well. So we're losing the pony, which I don't completely mind. Then replacing that. Then we're going into level 5. Will be the Guiana spider monkey, which is a forest, North Americas, and primate. Needs a level 5. We get a conservation marker when we play it. And the zoo kitchen have 5 different zoo animal icons. 5 not equal to. Let's see if there's anything that will explain that for me. And the glossary. I have to have all 5 of them available. I have to have all 5 animal icons in my zoo. Okay. Fair enough, you like British humor. Alright, so now we've got anything at level 4 available to us. Problem is nothing. Well, actually I take that back. I think there is some stuff at level 4 that is kind of interesting to me. So I think I will grab the dusky. Do I want the dusky leaf monkey? Or do I want the alpine ibex? I think I want the alpine ibex. So I'll grab that, and then I'll play an animal with forest, which I will play the koala out. When I play this down, I can discard up to 2 tiles, gain a pouch token for each one I discard. I'll put that down here. I'll discard the Sumatran tiger, and I think that'll be the only one. So I'll get a pouch marker for that. And pouch markers are used for what at the end of the game? Or actually, what are they used for in general? Hopefully there's something that I can explain. So actually I could support a 2X project. I could support the 2X reptile. And I think that's the only one I could support right now. I'm going to hold tight on the rest of those though. For upgrade markers, okay. Let's see here. I think I will. Let's see, I have at least 2 projects in my zoo. Actually, I have 4 conservation markers. You may not support a single. Indicates the minimum markers of a type. Okay, I don't think I'm going to support anything just yet, so I will swap out another tile here. We're swapping out number 6 this time. So we're swapping out the zoo kitchen. And coming out at level 5, we have the Americas Pavilion, which gives us an Americas, and it's a building. It has to go by the river. Move an action. Looks like we can move an action to level 1. And coming out at level 6 will be, next to 4 different animal and or continent icons, it's a forest and another building. Okay, so all of these cycle down. Unfortunately, I don't have a project, but I can take a tile from up to range 4, so up to here. I think here I want the Dusky Leaf Monkey. And I will play, we'll actually use a rock tile. And I will play the Australian dingo out. So I'll put that down here. Then we'll get another actually, before we do that, we don't have a building to play. The only one we can support right now is reptiles. And I don't have the ability to upgrade my action cards. So I think we will just take another tile out. And we'll swap out tile number 3, which we don't have a 3, so I'll swap out number 2 since it's the closest one. Coming out in space 5, a dingo ate my baby, Seinfeld. Another humor reference I don't get. We've got a reptile house that has to go next to a reptile. And that gives 2 points per adjacent reptile. And coming up here, we've got a predator house, which has to go next to a predator space. Okay. Now at the project range at level 4, I think I will grab the observation deck, since that is in range. And I'll use my projects to let me take any one tile, which I will grab the reptile house. Okay, so that's the action I'm performing. Possibly I could play a building, and I think I will play a building. I'm going to play out the reptile house, and I'm going to put that down over here. Ideally, I want to get reptiles that I can blanket around that. All right, we could support a conservation objective now that we've got 3 reptiles out. And I think I will. So I will support the reptiles objective. So I've got 3 reptiles out to support that. Then I can upgrade one of my action cards, which now that I've supported a project, I could do. I would need to get 2 projects out. I'm not going to do that just yet, though. And then we'll replenish the display. I'm still a little bit plugged, as you guys can probably hear, but I think I'll be fine to go to GaryCon as scheduled starting tomorrow. So we're replacing tile 1 as well. This reminds you a little bit of Suburbia. I could see that. Admittedly, I wasn't the biggest fan of Suburbia, and it is making me a little bit hesitant in that regard. We can also place tiles as open space if we need to. Next up, we've got reptile breeding. That's a project, which that might be worth grabbing in all honesty. I might have to use my projects to do that. Next tile coming out is a low mountain range. We have to release a bird. And I'll figure out what, I think those are based on the size of the strength of the animals. And coming out next will be Yellowstone National Park. So I do need to do a better job of shuffling these tiles up. Let's see, I can only take from tile 1, so now it is the Guyana spider monkey. And I think I will use my projects to take any one tile, which will be the reptile breeding. And that is a strength of 3, so I do need to work on building that up a bit more. So obviously nothing moves. Could we play a building? We actually could. We would need to be next to 4 different animal and or continent icons. Which I don't think we can meet. Animal and or continent. Actually, yeah, we could. Because while we've got 3 Australia right here, everyone's got a different animal icon, so it looks like I could play the observation deck out, so I will. I'll put that down there. I do want to start working on cycling my projects up so I can play reptile breeding out. Can we support another project? I think the answer to that right now is no. All right, we can't upgrade an act. Well, actually, we could upgrade an action card now. So I will update. I will use my upgrade tile from supporting a project, or from supporting a conservation project to upgrade one of my tiles. The question is, which one do I want to upgrade? I'm just looking at these. I think here I'm going to upgrade my projects. So that way that makes my upgrade a little bit stronger, or my level a little bit stronger, and I can take 2 tiles from the display. Also, looking at replenishing. So let's pull another tile out for the solo mode. We are replacing tile 1 again, but this time, in this case, that's 2 again. Coming out next, and at level 4, we have Partner Zoo Africa. Take a tile with Africa from the display, which I'm not all that interested in because Africa is not one of our conservation projects this game. Herpetologist, which is take a reptile from the display. Actually, is that take a reptile from the display? Let's see. Looks like take a... Looks like that might be... gain the effect after the colon. Yeah, looks like let's just take a... Whenever I play a reptile, I take a tile from the display. Which, that might be worth grabbing. I do need projects, too. Actually, the display right now is mostly projects. And we've got a jaguar. Forest, North America, Predator. It's an animal strength of 4. It's a forest strength of 4. When you play it, draw 3 tiles from the pile, keep an animal. But that needs to be next to some open area. Let's see, now I can take from up to range 2. So I think I will grab the Predator house. Then I'm going to play a... I'm going to use a forest icon. which will be to play out the Dusky Leaf Monkey. So that's right there. I have to put it next to an existing tile. And actually, what is this bonus? What's this next? Looks like it's a gender icon thing. Oh, animal pairs. Okay, so names on the two tiles are identical, but they're not. Okay. So this just needs to go next to something already adjacent, which I will put that down up here. And that'll let me, the placement bonus there is I can take any tile from the display. So which one of these tiles do I want? I think I will grab the I think I will grab the herpetologist. So when I play a reptile, I take a tile. See if I can get that down soon. But let's pull another tile. Actually, can we play a building? We can actually play a building. So I'll play the predator house right here next to the Australian dingo. Can I support a conservation project? Four different, so that's probably four different animal icons for an upgrade, 3 different. So I can't support a project. Actually, I could support the 2 predators, which I think I will go ahead and do. So I can support that. Then I can upgrade 1 or multiple of my action cards if possible. Let's see, is that 3 different terrains? Let's see, upgrading 3 connected tiles of a single habitat, which I do not have. Let's see, 2 projects, 4 different animal class icons, herbivore, predator, primate, reptile. That one I could support, and I will. Let's see, I will upgrade my... I'll upgrade my water terrain tile. And then we need the support, then we need the solo icon, or solo tile replacement. So that is tile 4 that's getting replaced out. And then we'll replace that with a Eurasian otter, which takes water, Europe, and predator. Then we've got a straight lion, which is a rock terrain, which is rock terrain, Africa's, and predator. And common ostrich, which places 2 open areas in the zoo. I'm going to wipe my nose real quick, since I'm still a little bit plugged up. But like I said, I think I'm fine. I think I'll be fine to go to GaryCon starting tomorrow as planned. So, now it's back to my turn. Well, we'll start off with a tile I can take from up to range 3, which I think will be the I think it'll be the jaguar. Then I will Then I'm going to play a rock animal, which will be the alpine ibex. I will put that down here. Then we'll slide everything down. Let's see. Can I play a building? I don't have a building to play. I can't support a conservation project. Nope. And I can't upgrade any of my action cards, so now we'll replenish the display again. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. Should be 10 of them left in here, and it looks like there are. So that is tile 5 that we're swapping out. And that should be, yep, that's the last 5. Then we've got a fountain coming up, have tiles on all spaces by the river before I can place it. And a library, that's got to be next to 2 projects. Okay, so now that my projects is up to level 4, I can take from up to range 4. Which I will grab the... I'll grab the common ostrich, because I do need to get some birds in here as well. Then I'll use my project's action to play a project. So I will play out the herpetologist, and I'll put that... Where do I want to put that? I'll put that over here. So anytime I play a reptile card, I can take a tile from the display. Let's see, they'll slide all of that all the way down. Then we don't have a building to play, we can't support a conservation project, can't upgrade any of my cards. And, alright, so now we're replenishing again. So we're replacing tile 3, which is the Eurasian otter. Then coming out, we've got the European pond turtle, and we've got the thorny devil. Okay, now back to my turn again. So I can take from a range of 2. Which will be the low mountain range. I'll probably use that as open area, which I can always do that, excuse me, in lieu of okay. Alright, so which action do I want to use now? Let's see. That ostrich is rock level 5, yikes. I think I'm probably just going to take a... I think I'm just going to take a water action to gain 2 tiles from the pile. Which the first one will be a capybara, which is water, Americas, and herbivore. And an African bush elephant, which is going to take a lot of open space. It's an undefined Africa's herbivore, but level 5. Can't play a building, can't support a conservation project, can't upgrade action cards. I need the turtle and the lizard to move down so I can take and place them to get the herpetologist bonus. No kidding. Hopefully, well, I shouldn't lose the numbers. I shouldn't lose the pond turtle here. I wouldn't mind seeing a low number, so at least the pond turtle can move down. That's tile 1, so I am losing tile 2, which is not complete, which is not the end of the world. Alright, so next tile coming out is the Dendrologist, which is anytime I place a forest. Looks like my forest action strength is reduced by 1. And we've got the Squirrel Monkey. Oh, I do need to keep the hand size, so I'll discard the African Bush Elephant. Then, back to my turn, I can take up to range 3, which will be the European Pond Turtle. I will grab that. And I need my water action to be up to level 2. Actually, I can use the 2 for the Capybara. Actually, I think I'm going to use projects to get my reptile breeding out. So I'll put that down over... I don't want to put that down there because that'll draw another tile from the pile, which I don't want right now. I'll put that down here. As it is, now I can take a tile from the... Now I can take a tile from the display, which I will grab the... I will grab the Thorny Devil. Alright, that will slide down. I don't have a building to play. I can't support a conservation project. I need to get more Europe, birds, and primates out. Unfortunately, I don't have enough open space to play the Guyana Spider Monkey. I also need my forest. Actually, I would need to be able to flip my forest, which I can't do right now. So, yeah. Let's see what tile we're losing here. We're losing tile 2, so we're losing the library. Everything else will slide down. Then coming out, we've got the Hamadryas baboon, which is rock, Africa's, and primate, a strength of 4. I can draw a tile from the pile. Then we've got the exhibition hall, 10 different animal and/or continent icons, and the hidden glass wall next to 2 large animals. Hold on, I'm going to blow my nose here. My sinuses are starting to drive me nuts, so bear with me. It's just one of those obnoxious things with this bug that I'm dealing with. Oh, that was Dave who was saying I need the turtle and the lizard to move down. Well, it kind of worked out in the end there. But it's one of those things with this cold where my nose can't decide if it wants to stay plugged or run like crazy. But I am definitely running out of time. am running out of tokens in the solo bag. In fact, if I organize these, I'm probably going to discover pretty quickly that I'm running out of time. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 tokens left in the solo bag, which is not good. Need to keep to the limit. I think I'm going to discard the... I need to get another project out is what I need. So I need to keep the low mountain range. My forest is level 4, so I could play that. I could play the Jaguar this turn. So that's probably going to be worth keeping. The Guyana Spider Monkey, I probably need to hold on to that for... Well, actually I think that can go, because that's going to take a lot to play out. Alright. Let's see. I think I will grab I can grab from up to range 2 because of my project level. That'll be the Dendrologist, I guess. Then I'll use Forested level 4. I will go ahead and play out the Jaguar. I'll put him there. And then I can draw 3 tiles from the pile and keep an animal. 1, 2, 3. First up, I've got the Water Playground, which is not an animal. Then we've got the Aerial Cableway, which is also not an animal. And the Alpine Area, also not an animal. 3 buildings, so that was a total whiff. All of this slides down. Can't play a building, can't support a conservation project, can't upgrade any of my action cards, then we'll replenish. But yes, I am running out of time on the tokens I've got. So not a good spot to be in right now. We are losing tile number 4. Coming up next, we've got primate breeding, which is a primate project, and Lake District National Park, which requires me to release a Europe animal, which I don't currently have a Europe animal. Actually, I do have the Alpine Ibex in my zoo. Let's see. I will grab the Squirrel Monkey for turn. Then, do I have a water icon? I do. Let's see, that's a 2. I'd be 1 short of being able to play both of those, but I will actually play out a water animal. I'll play the European Pond Turtle, which will actually give me a conservation marker, and I'll play that over here, over top of this move a tile down to level 1. I'm going to move my rock down to level 1, which will actually end up at level 2. And then these will slide all the way up. Okay, and then I did play a reptile, so I get my herpetologist bonus, so I can take anything. That will be a... I'll use that to grab the primate breeding. Then we'll replenish everything. Tile 4. This, I will admit that in the solo game, this is one thing I do like, where it's churning through tiles, so you get to see new stuff in the game. You're not just stuck with a stagnant space. What does the reptile breeding tile do? Oh, here it is. Looks like that's just 2 victory. Looks like that's just going to be 2 victory points per reptile token I have in my zoo at the end of the game. Let me just double check that. For each, so yeah, that's 2 points for each. That's 2 points for each reptile on connected tiles, which actually that's in a pretty bad spot now that I look at it. But there really wasn't a good place to put that. So now we're replenishing tiles. We've got predator breeding coming out. Then expert in large animals. And a Eurasian brown bear, which that needs to take open, that needs to go next to open space. Let's see, I can take from up to range 5 now, which could be, let's see, that would need to be a forest. I would need to flip that, be able to flip that somehow. Do-do-do. Let's see. What to do. Let's see, that's from range 5, which will use that to grab... Oh, and limits. I will discard... I'll discard low mountain range. So what tile do I want here? I think I want the expert in large animals, which also reduces the required strength of my large animals by 1. And then I'll use projects to play that. So I'll play the expert in large animals, which when I play that I can immediately take a large animal, which I will grab the Eurasian brown bear for that. And we'll slide everything down. I don't have a building to play. I can't support a conservation project. I think I can upgrade though, since now I do have 2 projects down, so I do have an upgrade available, which I will use that to go with a... I'll use that to upgrade my rock. To my rock animals card. Then at the end of the turn, adhering to limit. Keep to the limit, so I'll discard the primate breeding. Then we'll replenish, but I'm definitely running out of time. I've got 4 tokens left in the bag, so I don't think there's any way that I'm going to fill this zoo in time. So we're losing the level 6, which in this case is going to be level 4, because that's the lowest empty. So I lose predator breeding. First up, we've got the Australian dingo, which we aren't going to be able to pair because we already surrounded it. Then we've got the scarlet macaw, which is forest, Americas, and a bird. Also gender paired. And a snowy owl, rock, Europe, and bird. My project is at level 2 right now, which will be the exhibition hall. So I can grab that for a project. And then in action will be rock animals. And I will play the common ostrich, because even though it's level 4, because I've got the expert in large animals, it does reduce that cost by 1. So that doesn't need to be by open areas, but that will end up going by some open areas. Do I have anything that takes... Actually, I do have the Eurasian brown bear, so I'll play that down here, which will let me place 2 open areas. So I'll put one down here so I can slide one of my cards down to level 1, which I don't want to be the Eurasian brown bear. I need that to stay, so I'll slide water down. And then I'll place another open area, which will go right here to give me a tile from the pile, which will be an American anole, forest, Americas, and reptile. Okay, that'll slide down. Then can we play the exhibition hall? We need 10 different animal and or continent icons. I don't think we have all the continents down. Let's see, we've got Asia, Australia, Americas, Africa, and Europe, so we've got 5 there. Predator, reptile, primate, herbivore, and we have actually, we might have enough to play the exhibition hall. I might be moderately surprised by that. Let me look at that again, though. We've established we had Americas, Asia, Australia, Europe and Africa. Okay, so we've got 5 continents there. Predator, reptile, primate, herbivore, bird. So we actually do have enough to place down the exhibition hall, which is just going to be 10 victory points. So we can play that. Can we support a conservation project? No, we still can't. I definitely supported reptiles way too early in hindsight. And I don't think we have enough Asia to be able to support that one. We've only got one Asia animal out right now, so we can't do anything with that. 3 connected. 1, 2. Not yet. Okay, so we can't do anything there. We are at limit. We're replenishing the display. And we're losing tile 2, which is going to be, in this case, tile 1. We'll slide everything down. And we've got the northern giraffe coming out, which is take a building from the display. And the red-necked wallaby. Let's see. Projects is at level 4. I will grab the scarlet macaw. Then I'm going to play a forest animal, which is going to be the Eurasian brown bear. I can put that... That's at level 4, but because I've got expert in large animals, it does reduce the strength requirement for that. So I'll play that right over here, which that's next to open area, so that will work for me, which will give me all projects, which right now that's only the Lake District National Park. I don't have a building to play. I can't support a conservation project. Don't have any way to upgrade my cards. And then keeping to limit, I'll discard the dendrologist. We've only got 2 tiles left. So we're losing tile 6. And does the game end when we need to... If we reveal the last solo marker, okay, so after we reveal the last solo marker in here, we have 1 more turn. And we established we were losing that tile. So coming out, we've got the hydrologist, which reduces water strength requirements by 1. Sheep, which is another petting zoo animal. And the hamadryas baboon, which also needs open area. Right. Right now, projects is at level 4. So... Sorry, throat was getting a little dry. So which tile do we want? I think here we want the... snowy owl. And then I'll use my... Actually, we slid all of that down. So actually now projects is at level 5. Does that change the animal I want? I don't think it does. So... I will go ahead and play the... I will use the rock habitat. So I'll use that to play the snowy owl down there. Actually, do we have any connected Europe? We don't. Right, don't have a building to play. Can't support a conservation project. Upgrade 1 or multiple, we can't do that. Still at limit. And we're about to reveal the last marker, so we have 1 more turn. So it looks like we have 1 more turn. We've got card 3 coming out. Or tile 3, I should say. At least that's the way I'm reading that in the solo rules. We've got the other Diana Spider Monkey and the Australia Pavilion. Excuse me. Projects right now is at level 5. So we need a water strength of 4, which we've got that plenty. So I will grab the... I'll grab the hydrologist. Yes. We'll grab the hydrologist. Then I'm going to use my water habitat, and I'll play the capybara. I'm probably totally butchering the pronunciation of that. And given that we have filled the... and do not trigger the end of the game, which we did. So we actually did win the game by managing to fill the zoo up. So now let's go through endgame scoring to see how we did. This won't be great, obviously. Let's see, so we total up 5 points for each face-down solo marker. Alright, how are we defining face-down solo markers? Oh, flip a solo marker in the lowest filled position. Okay. So we don't get any points because we had all of them flipped face up. So let's see the fixed point value. So on the animals we had 8, 12, 19, 26, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 36, 38, 39, 40, 46, 48 on animals. On buildings, 10, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 on buildings. Projects. Let's see. Is that one per just straight reptile? Okay. So we got, so this one's 1 point per reptile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And then that one is connected, 6. This one's around. Actually, we scored that one already, so 6. 6 on projects. Open area, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. Conservation markers, most likely none. 2 points for each pouch marker. And remaining, I had 1 pouch. Okay, that's the total conservation point objective, so 12. And the solo markers, okay, so that's everything. Let's see, 69, 79, 91, 93. So 93 victory points for my first game. Probably not bad all told, but that'll do it for this playthrough of Sanctuary. I didn't mind this game, actually. I'm gonna have to give it a couple more goes before I pass full judgment on it, but I did enjoy this one at first glance, even if it was a little bit head-scratchy, I guess is the word for it. But definitely reminded me a lot of Ark Nova. And with all the tiles that are here, there's definitely a lot of replayability in this game because we didn't even get through half the tiles in this game, so there's still a lot left to get out of this game. But I'm rambling at this point, so let's wrap the video up so I can relax a bit before GaryCon tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, we'll be at Pac Bell Park in San Francisco, California for Game 4 of the 2001 National League Division Series in Payoff Pitch Baseball between the Colorado Rockies and the San Francisco Giants. Denny Nagel will be on the mound for the Rockies, and Kirk Reuter will be on the mound for the Giants. The Giants lead the series 2-1. They're trying to get to the NLCS. Saturday, Mystical Munchies will continue out of the Titanic the Official Cookbook as we make the entree, Beer Battered Fish. That'll also be an afternoon upload since that is supposed to be dinner. Sunday morning, we're playing Spirit Island by Greater Than Games. And next week, we have another new game debut on the channel as we are playing, what are we playing? Raiders of the Deep by Compass Games. And hopefully I will have a great time at GaryCon, assuming I'm totally clear of this bug. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.